What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part, I want to say, 29 of my Total Warhammer 2 modded Mazdamundi campaign. So as we saw last time, we have taken Magritta and destroyed the Dread Fleet, so hopefully now the Galleon's Graveyard is no longer under any kind of threat. In addition to that, we are pushing through the desert, having destroyed Sudenburg, and are getting ready to attack Bagar over here, and have also nearly completed our Nakai army. Nakai is at missing just the one unit, and it's an Ark of Sotek that I want in here to help out with the red-crested skinks, but otherwise I'm reasonably happy with this army as it currently stands. Other than that, we are continuing to build up our armies and our economy, although obviously our economy is fairly good right now. If we were to get a couple more full stacks in here, just by virtue of how expensive Lizardmen armies are, and I mean, this is a freaking skink army, and look how expensive it is. It's mainly basic units, like, look, red crested skinks are 179, and the basties are, what, we're tier 3, I think? There's nothing super high tier in here except Tehenwan himself, and the skink oracle, so, yeah, honestly, it's mostly the heroes that are costing us insane amounts of cash, aren't they? Yeah, but whatever, at least they're pretty darn effective with it. Anyway, I believe I've done everything between the episodes. I spent about 45,000 gold on various economy upgrades, and hopefully we can make use of that and keep our economy growing as we keep trying to get more and more armies on the field and try out more different compositions. Anyway, let's end the turn and let's proceed, shall we? Zyri, I forgot about you, buddy. Every time. And it's always this guy, too. Honestly, I'm almost tempted not to actually send him back and just put him in Gorok's army. Although Gorok already has 2 leaders of his kind, I suppose he could use a 3rd one. But then it'll be quite a lot of these Saurus in his army, won't it? I mean, what we could do instead of the leader of his kind is... see, the thing is, who was I sending that guy to? I think I was originally planning to put him in the Life Army. But does the Life Army really need to buff its Saurus up that much? I'm now kind of unsure. Maybe Gorok could get more use out of that army, because Gorok's army is going to be pretty much all Saurus, in addition to a bunch of heroes. Whereas the Life Army is not really as reliant on that sort of thing. Sequence of Infiltration complete. Nakai also gets movement range, and Sequence of Infiltration is going to get followed by Sequence of Oldest Rites, which will lead into a Sequence of Geomantic Healing right after. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we'll get some more of the Gifts of the Old Ones, or Old Ones favor as we move. In addition to that, we just got a bunch of cash, but I know exactly where we need to spend it, and that's in Machu Peaks, or Machu Peaks rather. 13,000 here, and then in Pahwaks, another 16,000 in this Temple Nexus right there, and then switch you both right back to that alignment of crafting for the extra cash, I think. Although, there will be a bunch of stuff that will need upgrades here as well, but it's so expensive, it's probably not the time right now. So let's go alignment of crafting for now. And then we'll switch it up. Are you in alignment of crafting as well? Yeah, you're good. You're good, buddy. Okay, everybody over here is good. You are all heading to go and support Gorok, because you're going to be in his army. Tehenwan, you're sailing... You're going to continue to sail for a while. I would really love for you to get that Skull Reef, but I think we'll go sort of the roundabout way so we don't suffer too much attrition. So let's just max out our speed and grab these 2 first, maybe? Or maybe grab this one and go here and then go around. Really depends on if there's anything good out here, but I'm not seeing any further Skull Islands, unfortunately. Now, Mazdamundi. I would love for you to attack Scryer and Sartosa just because you can, but A, you're busy, and B, you need to book it all the way back here to get your legendary units as well as the rest of your retrofit. So, in light of that, let's move you. Let's move you to retrofit you. We'll leave Magritta alone. I think we will untax it for now, but we'll fix that up eventually. Otherwise, it's just gonna fall. And yeah, Zyri, I was gonna send you down here to help Cytochrome, but what we could do is we could get Cytochrome like a perfect spawn instead, especially if we're gonna increase the amount of dinos in his army. Like, maybe we don't need the source in his army at all, that's the thing. I'm just getting kind of sick of having armies that are so super based around source, and we already have this guy with Box out here. Do we really need another one? I really feel like a all Dino army would be a lot more unique. Especially as it'll be the only army that's going to be using Bastillodons, like the basic Bastillodons. Yeah, you know what, Zairi? You're going back. You're going to join Gorok and provide yet another leader of his kind for his source. Honestly, it's not that huge of a deal in terms of what this buff does. I mean, 5 upkeep, big frickin' deal, right? But further into all this will help out. Revered Leader, Combat Reflexes. I don't really care about Hunter's Instinct, but all the other stuff is quite good. Although I do want to point out that a lot of weapon strength would probably also help out the other army as well, but whatever. Let's just max out our source in this particular army. And honestly, the charge bonus would also be fairly helpful for the dinos, but we could do that with the perfect spawn and not the leader of his kind once again. So let's do that. I guess, wait, have I given the other two their Carnosaurs? What are we at here, Gorok? How are you doing? You are not on a Carnosaur, and you both are. You don't have the levels to get on your Carnosaurs yet. Actually, you do, but I think what I'm doing here is getting them to get their Carnosaurs essentially together at the same time. Yeah, and you already have training. I'm not gonna bother with the rest. Alrighty, well, Gorok, keep on marching forward. Ooh, almost able to reach. Yeah, one more turn. Gotta exchange those troops so you're ready to go. Zairi, come back. We'll fix up your points as we get you closer. You, Nakai, you're gonna grab this for the free cash or whatever it is in here. I wish we could see what's out there. And it's sail to the wreck, please. And auto-resolve that, obviously. Not gonna take too much damage there. Do we bother exterminating them? We can kill and eat, and that'll mean our army's full HP. Or we get 5 turns of research rate. Nah, just kill and eat since we're a little bit hurt. Although we would have gone to more or less full HP anyway. You know what, move out here and I guess we can try to head towards this. Although we could also go back and grab whatever we're missing here. You just got a reduction for a bunch of dinos, but unfortunately not the, not Croxagores. Oh well. Ooh, and we got a Horn of Kygor and a lost cargo, yes. Oh damn, that was worth it. Only for 6 turns perhaps, but that was quite nice. Well done, Nakai, that was definitely worthwhile. You gotta get more stuff out of the sea. If we can get materials at sea, that would be amazing. Let's also get the next level of reclamation, please, and you have Skirmisher because you have Chameleon Skinks. Oh wait, you only leveled up 1 point. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What about you, Hokex Todd? You get, well, I guess you're moving through this stuff, right? I mean, we don't really care about what's in here, but I feel like we do care about the elusive trait. We could go for potent as well. I mean, potent is always helpful, and so is the onslaught trait. You know what? Yeah, let's go through Power Sap just to get the onslaught trait, and then we'll move through the rest of this stuff. So I'm happy with that. Really unhappy about how you guys are just barely not able to reach each other, but whatever, not a big deal. You, Caritril. I guess it's time for you to move as well. Go into March Stance, and you are going to become an Ogre army, so you might as well sail on over. Or sail on Ogre, I should say. Ha 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 ha. You're gonna build your Skink's foraging camp. There we go. Did I move to Henwin this turn or last turn? No, that was this turn. Okay, fine. Fine. Who else needs to move? Cytochrome and Moff Cattell. You are almost able to reach this. In fact, Cytochrome is, we'll just move Moff Cattell up and then we'll attack together. We're gonna get some trespassing, but I don't care. You can go into Astromancy for now. Or in camp, it doesn't really matter. Is there anything that buffs up our research rate here? Nah. Wait, you guys don't have a research buffing stance? Nah, oh, whatever. Just in camp. Just in camp, and we'll wait to hit Bagar. Should be some real fun times out of this, if nothing else. And I'm still holding out hope that Numos gets destroyed or taken over by a hostile faction, so we don't have to destroy this faction. But, you know, who knows? How are you doing out here, Camry? Still okay. Really unfortunate that we have to destroy these guys because they like to trade with us, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? These are our deserts. Ooh, we are at 99 alignments now. I feel like the first alignments that we're gonna start with, presuming that we don't need any buffs here, well, Consecrate the Unborn is at 6 turns, and I really would like to keep it up permanently. You know what, let's get that, and then afterwards we'll think about it. Honestly, it's just that the fact that these buffs are so much better faction-wide than any of these buffs can possibly be, since they're such minor buffs, and especially because, like, I don't like the system that increases the cost of these. Like, they should have stayed at the cost that you got at the start. And they're just not worth it compared to the faction-wide buffs, right? Well, yeah, either way, let's get Consecrate the Unborn, yet again. I think that would be... I want to say battles. I could be wrong here. Utility, is it defense? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's also incredibly expensive, but it's also really nice, and it's just a permanent crazy buff for the faction. So Consecrate the Unborn again. There go our alignments, but we do get 14 back per turn, so that's fairly reasonable. Anybody else need to move this time around? Critchel's good. Huntazak. You need 3 more turns, I think, or 2 more turns of building before you switch to Temple Guard construction. Yeah, okay, you're good. You're good. And I believe we end yet another turn. Ooh, and that'll complete our Confederation thing, won't it? Where is it? Where's Confederation? Yeah, so we would technically be able to try to confederate with you. I wonder if you'd be willing. Without money, specifically, because you're not at war with anybody, unfortunately enough. But I'd love to get these. I'd love to get these territories completed and not have to worry about them. Anyway, let's end the turn. And let's keep our armies growing. Faction destroyed Cathedral. Oh, and there goes a trade agreement. I wonder how much trade we were actually able to get out of them. Still need to try to identify Reichland, however, because we should be able to trade up the River Reich. And it looks like Trace wants to fight everybody on the quote-unquote evil side. Well, that's their problem. We're not going to help them. We have our own things to do. Alrighty, let's get everybody moving to you. And you move along, move along. You are going for Skull Islands and various other things. So wait, let's first move you in right here. Grab that fell cargo. Barrels of rum, please. Trunk of maps, damn, I was hoping for that materials at sea, but no dice. Oh, well, you speed it up and then move right into that Skull Island as fast as you can go. Oh, looks like there's at least a couple... Nah, just one island here. Sometimes there's a lot of islands that sometimes get spawned in the donut, but oh well. I guess you can go through all this stuff unless we send another lord like Nakai down here. Speaking of Nakai, if you go here, there'll be a lot of attrition. But we're gonna do this for now. Gorok. We are going to trade you, and we're gonna trade you and you. We're gonna take these 2 Basties with the Revivification Crystal, because they're gonna be needed for the Saurus. And then we're gonna trade away these Blessed Stags, and I guess these Basties with Solar Engines, because you're gonna be a primarily Saurus army. And I think that's about it. We're not taking anything from this. You have a perfect spawn, which I guess we'll send to the other army, so yeah, fine. There you go, Gorok. There you go. And now you just need to get Zyri, which will put you at 17, and then... well, I guess we want to get a couple more regular Saurus warriors in here, don't we? Not the shieldy types. We can't recruit any special Saurus warriors. Alright. So what I want you then to do is to move to the Awakening. Gotta get closer to your oracles that are coming in. To the Awakening you go. Zyri, go and join him. Where are you, buddy? Right here. Are you able to get in there? No. Close, but no. Alrighty, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we could delete 2 of these and replace them with 2 Saurus warriors with shields. We already have plenty of Saurus spears, and these guys do more damage after all. It always hurts to delete higher level units, but, you know... What are we gonna do? Oh, wait, you can't even recruit these guys here. Okay, we'll wait on that then. We'll wait on that. Gotta get you guys. Maybe you guys can travel to Pox Marsh together and meet up there. At least Gorok's army is nearly complete. You. I want you to... You know what? Maybe just hand Nakai his last unit. And just go. Just freaking go. And in fact... Wait, you can't reach Nakai? What are you talking about? No, for the love of... I didn't mean to move Nakai. Oh, Nakai, I wanted you to land here. What are you doing, man? Oh, that was so weird. Alrighty. Just trade your units, please. I guess we'll wait until that, but at least your army's completed, so who cares? So this is what we want to do. We want to give you your Basti with Ark of Sotek. Then I think you're going to delete your red crests because they're not needed anymore. And honestly, I don't think we need these Bastis with solar engines anymore, but I don't know, keep them on the field for now. We want to take you two over and ferry you here to Mazdamundi. So I guess you're both going out to sea. All right, well that'll be a nice little trip to you, and you're going to sea as well. All of you are going down to not Funky Town, but rather to. Let's also upgrade this stuff. You're going down to the desert. And let's see, Totems of Quetley here, and you, Axolotl, are gonna get the. Oh wait, no Totems of Quetley. You need a woodmaker, whatever it is, logging camp. What's the cost of this? Not that much. Plus 10 hero recruitment rank for skink chiefs, eh? All provinces. What do we currently recruit skink chiefs at, I wonder? Also, you have 2 skink chiefs, but they're pretty high level, 28 and 24. So maybe we could just keep those around. Alrighty, Gorok, almost in a good place. What else do we need to move this time? Mazdamundi. Ooh, free level up for Croak. I'll take it. You could get Telepathic Link if y'all wanna. What else do we got? Ooh, we're trying to move towards this stuff, so I guess get Grand Palanquin. Yeah, I'd also really love to get Supreme Shield of the old ones. Ooh, or Ward Save for all units. Nah, Ward Save for all units is gonna be better. Even than Grand Palanquin, I think. Alrighty, then you can move into... Is there any non-attrition area? It's all attrition-y. All gross and attrition-y. Right there. Going to Xandria afterwards. Alright, ooh, did I not level that up? Gotta get that money flowing. 4 turns. You can start building these guys next turn. Ooh, with the money we have remaining, though, let's see. You, my friend, you want to confederate, maybe? No. What about if we give you all the money that we have? Still no. You're gonna be a problem, aren't you? Frickin' soothsayer. Hopefully somebody declares war on him. Man, and it's only 2 provinces, too. You know what, let's save the rest of the cash that we got this turn and then just try to offer him the entire amount of cash to take everything. It's not like we really even need those territories, it's just that not having Lustria complete just bothers the hell out of me. Alrighty, and let's just double check. How are we for time today? Alright, now we're still reasonably good. Was it this turn you moved? It is indeed this turn. So I think we attack Bagar now. Kind of dangerous for the Pyramid of Nagash, but I mean, hopefully they don't have a billion armies here. Well, I guess we'll find out. Moment of truth and all of that. I would love to trade agreement with you, but unfortunately we're just gonna have to attack. You suggest the convention is to bow. I suggest you to stay in good grace. I'm not even sure that Slann can bow anyway. They're literally, possibly incapable of it. Declare war. Nagaroth, sure. Here we go. Here we go. Should be some fun time. Now, who do we want in the field first? I want to say the Fire Slann is more important in terms of setting up the army. So let's move you up here to support a Life Slann. Right there. And let's hit King Arandis. Ah, this is gonna be so fun. I'm excited here. I'm very excited. Gotta love these fights. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, and settlement garrison being drawn out as well. The fire. The fire is going to go all over the place, and it's going to be glorious. Let's give the Banner of Swiftness to Mr. Bogtza over here. Is that your name? No, wait, is it? Yes, it is. Lovely. Alrighty, Pyrrhic Victory, you say. We'll see about that. Let's see how mighty the Fire Slann's damage is, or rather the various salamanders and stuff, and especially the Pterodon Riders with Fire Liege Bolas. Cinematic battle, go. Alrighty, here we go. Yo, this is gonna be a great time. Every single time there's a battle against the Tomb Kings, I enjoy it so much. Look at these hordes of skeletons. Just look at them. They're all gonna get killed. Fire Liege Bolas moving in. We gotta start this off right with our Pterodon Riders. And once again, I love this unit so much. It's just so fun. Moving in and getting that first shot to force force the enemy sort of back and then dropping the bombs immediately on them. That actually worked out quite well. The explosions are knocking the units back and further into a blob. Now the enemy will have a fair amount of, I suppose, archers here, but probably not enough to defend themselves against the fire leech bulls. Honestly, the carrion are a much bigger threat. Looks like we were able to snipe a couple of them with our Basti with solar engine. Speaking of Bastis with solar engine, we have our fire setup. This is the army setup that I tend to do for the fire Slann pretty much every time it fights. Mostly it's a box around the range units because they do need to be protected. I really wish that you could actually save formations, because I would essentially maintain this formation for this particular Slann pretty much always. Fortunately, we are also getting our life Slann coming in, and they are going to, well, they being the army, not the life Slann. The life Slann, there's only one for now. And they're gonna come in and support this and make a true sort of lizard battle line. You gotta love it when there's like a proper lizard battle line here. And there we go. The carrion were chasing our birds, or our pterodons, and they're going to run right into the they're going to get close enough to get shot by all of our range units, which is quite unfortunate for them. A lot of the carrion drop and their HP drops to about 25%, which is probably not going to be enough to defend against the Pterodon Riders, even if they did catch them and get into melee. Otherwise, the rest of the Pterodon Riders are just having a great time. Look at all these badly hurt, beat up units here. This is all the Pterodon Riders. I think we only have 4 units that have the range for this, which is the Ancient Salamanders and the two sets of Basties with solar engine. Otherwise, this is all the work of these beautiful bastards. Look at them go. I love how they essentially soften up or kill basically an entire army just by themselves before they even reach our lizard battle line. Speaking of, these guys are starting to form up over here. We're going to get sort of wings or flanks spreading out from the main force, which I think is a pretty cool setup. I certainly like that. And then we're also going to get the Legion of Chakwa back here. Why? Because we are going to get attacked by the Ushabti. In fact, the Ushabti drop right now as I started to talk about them, but not in an ideal position. I thought that they would drop on these range units, maybe even around the Basties with solar engine, or just like right in the middle of the Salamanders, but they're partially in the source here, and that's not going to end well for them. Also because both of our Slann are right beside them, and the Slann do a lot of damage. I mean, look at these guys. They're already below half HP. Slann hit really, really hard, especially with all the buffs that the lizards have here, so good luck with that. And look at our Pterodon Riders in the background just wrecking face. I also love fighting in the desert because the map is so clear and you can see everything that's going on. Just makes it so much more fun, too. It's kind of the opposite of the frickin' stupid forest fights, which I will, take every single possible opportunity to say how much I despise, and I will never stop talking about it. I really hope they do something about the forest battles in the third game, although I wouldn't hold my breath, to be honest. Same way that I'm not holding my breath for ever getting a full fourth game that it just adds naval battles. I know they've said that they won't do them, but I still think they should. And I will continue talking about it forever. I would pay full price for a fourth game that adds nothing but naval battles to all the existing factions and puts them into mortal empires. And that way, for those who don't like naval battles, they would be able to play just the Total Warhammer 3 with mortal empires. And those who do would have Total Warhammer 4 with naval battles and fortresses and black arcs and all the craziness of the Warhammer seas added to it. That way everybody would be happy. Although I'm sure some people would still be unhappy because, inevitable, but whatever. Whatever. Anyway, let's continue our fireworks celebration here as the enemy skeletons try to move up. And here we go. Ooh, a charge from the chariots right into our source, and these are not spear source, unfortunately, so they won't have that charge defense, but I think they'll be strong enough to defend against a single skeleton chariot. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, after that, look, the units didn't actually take all that much damage, maybe 15%. And these guys are at about half HP, and then they're going to get hit by the Blessed Carnosaur and its little Regiment of Renowned friend. these two working together to come in and kill these skeleton chariots. Otherwise, the second and third army look like they're moving in because the first one just got obliterated primarily by the pterodon riders. These carrion, I was about to say chariot and then carrion, call them charion, are still chasing these pterodon riders around. But hey, what the hell do we care? Ah, beautiful. Alrighty. The battle lines have not connected, but we do have our formation up now. Look at that. It's all on purpose. I wish we could have completed this formation with a few more units of source. And I guess I could have gotten these guys over there, but not a big deal. A Tomb King charges in, but this is why we have these two stegs on this side. I have these two stegs here, and I had the two Carnosaurs on this side. In fact, they're going to go and take out those Screaming Skull catapults on this side. I don't know why they're so close to this edge of the map, actually. Kind of a weird thing for the AI to do there, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, these two are both defending each side just in case large units come in, whereas the battle lines are being held by the little linchpins of the various Bastillodons over here. We have the Saurus Scarvet right in front of all his Saurus right here, holding the line, and the Slann can help out with that sort of thing as well, and then further linchpins on this side as well. Now, the anti-large feral stegs are trying to hunt down the enemy Tomb Kings and Lords who have gotten ahead of their armies, which is probably not such a great idea for them, because they're going to suffer for it. And oh, look what we have here. It looks like a Tomb King. You're gonna have to fight with the Slann there a little bit, or are you gonna wuss out? Let's see. No, he's gonna wuss out. The Slann try to chase him down, but unfortunately not quite capable. They're actually fairly fast, but meh. Alrighty, battle line's still holding, but it looks like the enemy wants to attack this side a little bit more than the main portion of our formation. I guess the first army was going to attack here, but they got kind of obliterated by our Fire Leech Bolas, so what are you going to do? Ah, Tomb King fights. Moving on in. Anchor points are holding and helping the Saurus Warriors hold as well. Ooh, looks like they were able to cast something on us here. I'm not sure what that effect is. An enemy Lord goes down, wrecked by the Carnosaur, which actually came down from here. I think while the other one is taking care of these the Screaming Skull catapults. Why did I send the Carnosaur here? It's purely a matter of speed. It was already over here, and the Stegs would have taken so long to get there. I would have preferred to just keep them here and send one Carnosaur there, while the other one helps hunt down enemy lords and heroes and all that. Speaking of, this guy came back again, although he's now at half HP, and now is getting chased down by the two Slann. Hey, come back here, buddy. Fight the Slann. Don't you want your chance to kill our lords? Why you running? Ah, poor guy. Alrighty, and then we get a lizard dome down, and oh, look at what we have here. An enemy, a lord being chased down by our Geltblom's Terror, yes. Where you going, buddy? Fight the Carnosaur. Oh, he's gonna try to run around him. Chase him down, Carnosaur, you got it. Dino's chasing down the big boys. Duel of the big boys here, and now you're stuck, ain't you? What's your HP at? Ah, it doesn't matter because you're dead. So 0. Maybe negative if you probably got overkilled there a little bit. These guys are almost out of ammunition, unfortunately, but they have softened up even more enemy units as they've moved up. And it looks like the third enemy army is now arriving on the field, and we haven't even really taken any damage thus far. I think a couple of units of Saurus got to about 15 to 20% HP, and that's about it. Oh well. Hey, we actually managed to hit a bolt of the old ones. Keep killing those skeleton warriors. I wonder how this battle would have looked on the other side, i.e. if the player had the giant pile of skeletons. I mean, could have really abused all the extra lords and stuff, and the mobility, that's for sure. Like with these, oh man, it's hard to see through the lizard dome, isn't it? Yeah, they're not really using their cav to great effect. Ooh, out here the Carnosaur chasing down another lord. This guy's doing a great job killing the enemy lords, isn't he? I mean, considering we don't have a Saurus hero on a Carnosaur. pretty necessary. Alrighty, and yeah, it looks like the main portion of the battle is going to be essentially down here and partially at the main flank. The rightmost flank, or the eastern flank, is essentially home free and doesn't really need to do anything. This Carnosaur has finished off that Screaming Skull catapult that was on this. I was just running around looking for any targets. Otherwise, we're basically out of ammunition for our Pterodon Riders, and they will be done soon. Oh, look, then the unit of Ushabti coming in. There we go. Maybe that'll be a target for the Carnosaur, although probably when it gets into a blob and not by itself, because we've seen the Ushabti and what they can do towards those Carnos. Oh, and it looks like we're going to get a spell off, a piercing bolt of burning coming down, trying to defend this portion of the battlefield, which is good because we are moving the rest of our large units over to here, as it looks like the enemy, we can see on the map, is not really focused on our center. Probably better for them. We're out of ammunition on our ancient salamanders, but have plenty on the salamander hunting packs, just not really anything to fire at, because I don't want them firing on this, because if they do, these guys will probably move in towards our Saurus and get wrecked. Plus, we can deal with this with spells like Awakening of the Woods and stuff like that, plus the dinos on top. So, meh. Salamanders can wait where they won't hurt us too much. We've seen how much friendly fire they output in various previous battles, and I don't want a repeat of that this time, especially as we're doing so well as we are. Well done, little basties. I think our stag... Wait, that's a stag. Where's the other stag? Oh, it's all the way out here. Okay, we're still fine. We're still fine. Still reinforcements moving on to the battlefield every second or so. Another Screaming Skull catapult coming in. Gotta pay attention to that one. But otherwise, the battle lines are very, very much holding. We're gonna have our Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas that are now out of ammunition waiting in the wings. I suppose we could be using them to rear charge the enemy and get some more morale shocks into them so that they rout and crumble faster, but whatever. I mean, at this point, the enemy doesn't really have a prayer. Their likelihood of winning at this point is about 1 grain of sand in this desert. Not that I'm trying to get cocky here, it's just, I mean, they're mostly skeletons, and we may have a primarily basic army, but we have a really good setup here, and they, more than that, did not attack us at the same time, and that's a really big issue for the AI, that it does have a tendency to send its armies at you one by one instead of consolidating and attacking you in a big force, which would make it a lot scarier. Not the case here, and therefore, they will lose. But at least they'll make a hell of a spectacle, and that's what we're here for. It's certainly what I'm here for. You gotta love the spectacle of this. The kind of spectacle you can't really get as much of in historical titles, which is what makes me love this particular title so much. And over here, this one unit of Saurus was the one that got hurt the most. I think they were fighting a unit of Nehekara warriors on the side here. We're just going to back them up behind the main line while the fresh units essentially replace. And we're going to do the same sort of thing back here with the units that that got hurt on the sides here. Granted, they are being healed up with Earthblood, but there's no need to take further damage. I'm actually shocked that this guy hasn't crumbled. He is very, very slowly crumbling, but it is actually taking quite a while. It's about 5 damage per second, yeah, so he's got some time on the field. It looks like one of our Feral Basties is starting to take damage here. And a little bit of damage on this Feral Stag as well. Oh, damn, did I speed it up? My bad, my bad. Oh, and we got another bolt of the old ones coming in, but unfortunately it sort of lands more so closer to our source. I aimed it here, and then it landed here. Really kind of bizarre. It might be because of the angle, because this is sort of like downhill. That probably screwed it over. It's a very finicky spell in the first place, so... At least this one lands where it was supposed to, basically destroys a Tomb Guard unit on top of that. That one was very nice. Tomb Guard are so slow that I guess they can't really dodge it. Awakening of the Woods going down there, helping out this flank where the main portion of the battle is. And I think I saw that enemy Lord disintegrate finally and die. And the battle is just about over. This is the last half of the third and last army. I know that there were 4 armies, but I believe one of them was like a half army, so I'm only counting 3, really. Gotta love the high resistance on the feral basties, because you could just drop spells all around them and not really care about their damage. Ooh, you have actually taken a decent amount of damage, but I think that was to the oh, there's a Tomb Guard with halberds unit here that you're stuck in. Yeah, that's why. Okay. You're mostly meant to hunt you be an anti-cavalry, and I think I had to chase down this cavalry, but then it got trapped in the halberds, unfortunately, and started to run away. But mainly, that's the only unit I think that got badly hurt. The rest of our army is fine. This flank is pretty much done dealing with anything, and the front portion of our army is pretty good as well. I mean, the central portion of our army is good as well, getting some extra shots from those fireworks spewing salamanders as the enemy moves up. I could literally watch the salamanders kill things all day. They're just so fun to watch. Oh yeah, look at that. Last blobs coming in. This time we're gonna fire down here because the central line is done. It looks like the enemy army is now starting to disintegrate all of its units. We're also sending our flyers back in just to deal with that screaming skull catapult that's coming out, because nobody else is going to deal with it. Not firing yet, but it is looking like it's getting ready. I see the glow of the skulls there, and there we go. The telltale glow. We don't have any artillery in either of these armies that could reach it, I think, and our basties with solar engines are unfortunately out of ammunition as well. But the battle is over, and once again, 'twas a very, very fun one. Gotta love the combination of giant piles of Saurus and dinos towering over them and wrecking face. And the Slann supporting them, I suppose, with all their magics and their explosive little mace attacks. Here we go, last unit gonna be on the field. We're gonna get all around it, surround it, and then envelop it. I said envelop it. I said thank you. There we go, yeah, shake the screen. And there we go. They may be fairly weak in melee. Well, 48 attack, certainly something, 32 defense, but yeah, it's not enough to fight a carrion unit one-on-one, especially with their very, very low armor. And their, well, the weapon strength at 77 isn't horrible, actually. But at least they could take out artillery this way. Still having a use for them, as well as cycle charging into the backs of enemy units after they're done with their ammunition. Because clearly, if any unit needed more kills added to them, 376, it's that particular unit. Heroic victory, unsurprisingly, or perhaps surprisingly, by virtue of the fact that the AI thought that it had any kind of chance here. It didn't have a lot of super elite units that we really had to deal with. And yes, it had a lot of war sphinxes and stuff on their lords, but it didn't have any like bone giants or anything like, or any Ushabtis with great bow, which would have been a little bit scarier for us, just by virtue of the fact that they had the distance, and then we would have had to try to catch them out in the dunes while they were still surrounded by enemy reinforcements coming in. We don't have a lot of forces other than the two Carnosaurs and the two Stegs that could have really gone out and done that, and they might have gotten trapped like that Steg did in that set of Tomb Guard with halberds. So anyway. And a replay. Let's see how much damage we did, how much kills everybody got. Oh, Tomb King battles, why must you be so fun? Why must you make all the other battles jealous? As usual, a gloriously fun battle with the battle lines colliding. You gotta love watching the lizard battle lines in action as well. There's just something about them that makes them very fun. Crazy amounts of damage on a lot of our Lords, actually a very decent job by both the Slann. They did get a couple of damaging spells off a piece, but primarily I think that was their auto attacks doing damage. The two Carnosaurs running around basically the entire battle doing an insane amount of damage. This Feral Stag I think was by far the unit that got the most hurt there, but both the Feral Stags did well. In fact, one of the Feral Stags beat a Carnosaur in terms of damage, but it was in a blob of infantry, which, to be fair, does explain that. A lot of the Saurus also did a lot of damage fighting all those skeletons, and this is one of the reasons it's fun, indeed, to keep the Saurus around, just because it's a more fun and even battle against things like skeletons, as opposed to just getting hyper-elite units that, wreck face all over the place, and... wreck face all over the place. Let's see. Also, the Fire Leech Willows, every single one of them maxed out their ammunition. 55, 54, 74, and 55 damage. These three all about the same, and then these guys, for some reason, did a lot better. I'm willing to bet that that's because these guys probably got a set of bombs off that was better than the rest, and that's where that extra 20,000 damage came from. Probably dropped them on a blob of 2 or 3 enemy units, but still, as always, the Fire Leech Bowl is just cleaning house every single time, and very good damage off of the solar engines as well on you. 29 and, well, 17 not as much, but very, very good considering it's a single unit and it was only via their range firepower. The salamanders all did well, although the ancient salamanders did better than the regular salamanders, with the exception of the Umbral Tide, which did 38k, although I do want to point out that the regular salamanders did not, in fact, come anywhere near running out of ammunition, so that is also part of it. Anyway, let's exterminate these guys just because we can, and I believe Bagar is free to take. Ooh, and we got perfect vigor for Moff Cattell on top of that. Beautiful. And a glyph necklace. That's always nice. You two. Bagar's a free take, so occupy it. And let's see. Yes, Ogre Mercenaries. Thank you. Thank you, game. Really needed that. Now, if you move here, will you be able to move back and defend? I think you will, so go to those Ogre Mercenaries. Yes. We've been waiting. We've been waiting a long, long time, and we're gonna go for man-eaters with ogre pistols, so Death Belcher's tribe, please. I really feel like the Death Belcher's tribe should have 2 man-eaters with ogre pistols for every 1 ogre or something like that, because why would we get, like, it's literally their thing. The Death Belchers have learned that only the foolhardy would dare fight ogres up close, so have honed their pistol skills, but they get twice as many non-pistol ogres as pistol ogres, so, but whatever. Beautiful. More ogres on the field, and we will soon have our ogre army ready to go. You two can defend Bagar, and I guess you can keep your old one monument for now, though we are going to untax you. Gem mine, yes, build that up. You know what, just leave this alone until we grab everything else here. Now, I do assume that these enemies all have a crazy amount of armies around at least one of their bases. The question is which one, because we're going to have to try to figure this out. I wish I had a lord, or a hero rather, that we could send down to Antok nearby, but alas, no scouts available. You have also leveled up, my friend, and I am going to give you Flamestorm, which would have really come in handy against those blobs of enemies, although the weapon strength plus 50 to you when attacking is also going to be real swell. And also, we really do want to get the Blazing Sword of Ruin out of all this stuff. Magic resistance minus 10 for enemies in region on top of that, and extra winds of magic. Do we wait for this? Fine, we'll wait for the Flamestorm, rather, for one more turn, I guess. Ooh, although, wait, we are at 1, 2... Okay, no, we're nowhere near Greater Arcane Conduit, so let's just go Reserves of Eldritch Energy. Alrighty, anyway, we are obviously out of time, so I am going to have to call this episode here. Can you kill this? No, it's gonna move away. You coward, Bofra. Get back here and die like the rest of your friends. You watched thousands upon thousands of your own die, and then you walk away with full HP. What is this? I think that Lord might have been here and not have gotten drawn into the fight. But anyway, as I said, calling it here. Next time, several things to do. A, conquer the rest of these guys. B, hopefully get Mazdamundi moving through to get his finally retrofitted armor, or at least partially retrofitted from the stuff that Huntazak is going to give him in addition to the other troops that we're going to bring him, aka this Blessed Stag and this Blessed Temple Guard. Plus, we're going to build a few more Blessed Stags for him as soon as they're available, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get enough money to confederate this guy next turn. But I guess we'll have to find out next time. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.